All right, Frankie De Jong's injured. If you want to go hear my opinion about that, take a look at my short form content. But to summarize quickly, I don't blame Frankie. He was gonna have to miss out on the Euro 2024. He was gonna have to miss out on the World Cup. That's two major tournaments in his late 20s when he's supposed to be at the prime of his career. That's just the name of the game. And he in leading up to the 2024 Euros, he tried to play through an injury. He re-injured. He missed that tournament. This time around, we're in a comfortable lead in the league. He was only set to play 45 minutes for the Atletico Madrid game, and Flick and the medical staff deemed that he was not fit enough to start. So he didn't play, and he took care of himself to the end of the season. That's that. I want to focus more on the side of the squad complexion, the members that we have in the midfield, and we are short-staffed with this Frankie De Jong injury. We need to sign another midfielder. It is a priority right this instant. Because I've seen this story before, all right? I don't want to be short-staffed in the midfield anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. We have too many injury-prone players. Last season, we had to see Dani Olmo putting in shifts at the 8 because we didn't have a proper backup to Pedri. Pedri's coming off of an injury-ridden season with muscular injuries. And he just played a full World Cup, making it all the way to the final. No proper preseason, no proper rest. I've seen this movie script before. He's going to have muscle injuries if he does not rest. Because the reason Pedri needs a proper backup is because this team is dysfunctional without Pedri. And what does that mean? Pedri has to play all the time until he gets injured. And I'm tired of seeing that script time after time after time again. Because Gavi also, last season, he just came back from a major injury as well with his knee. He's slowly working himself back into the team. Dealt with a couple injuries here and there. Muscular injuries. Those are the main ones that come after ACL tears. He just did an entire camp. Also, isn't going to have a proper preseason. He's injury prone as well. He's had falls with that same knee twice. I'm not looking to have another Gavi injury as well. Marc Bernal, coming off of a long-term season injury. This is who I'm the most confident in because he had a proper preseason. He had proper rest throughout the summer. But again, he's still a kid. And he's not fully polished. And Dani Olmo is the other one. Dani Olmo's always been injury prone throughout his entire career. And without a preseason, without a proper rest in the summer, reeks of muscle injuries early on in the season as well. And you throw in that Frankie De Jong might be out for 5 to 6 months. Dani Olmo without a preseason. Fermin, okay, he's coming off of a foot injury. Proper rest, I'd like to think. But Fermin, coming off of an injury. Pedri, coming off of an injury. Gavi, coming off of a long-term injury. Injury prone. Bernal, all of these guys are injury prone. Pedri, Gavi, injury prone. No summer, no proper rest. Dani Olmo, who has also been Pedri's backup, quote unquote, be the 8. No proper rest this summer because he made it to the final of the World Cup with an important role. I'm sorry. I've seen the script before. This reeks. This stinks of muscular injuries all across the board. And it cannot be because right now, right in this instant, we are one Pedri injury away from being in the gutter. Because last season, pretty much any time that Pedri went down, we were cooked. Absolutely ripped to shreds. We were toast. That's how it is that we go on and lose 4-0 in the first leg of the Copa del Rey tie against Atletico Madrid. Olmo and Gavi putting in was it Olmo and Frenkie or Olmo and Gavi putting in a double pivot shift? I'm sorry, but I'm not here for none of that. I am not. It is time that we find a proper backup to Pedri because it can't be that we tread on the thin line of a Pedri injury. Because I've always said it. This squad has 3 guys that if they get injured, we're absolutely cooked. Pedri. Well, firstly, Lamine Yamal. Anytime Lamine Yamal, last season, I'm speaking of last season. Last season, anytime Lamine Yamal would go down, we're cooked. Anytime Rafinha went down, we're cooked. Anytime Pedri went down, we're cooked. Absolutely fried. We have no response for those three being out. Now we've addressed the Rafinha situation. We got Anthony Gordon, proper backup. On the right hand side, we got Adeyemi, proper backup as well. Pedri, I need that backup. We need that backup for Pedri. Because last season it was Dani Olmo. Because we didn't have someone that was creative and a playmaker from that position. That's why Flick had to resort to bringing Dani Olmo into the 8. But Dani Olmo cannot carry out the defensive coverages that Pedri would do. And that's why we would suffer so much on defense, off counters. And we didn't have that same ball recovery. We didn't have that same intensity in recovering the ball and in the midfield and playing sharp passes and being able to carry out your defensive responsibilities as an 8. Dani Olmo is not a midfielder. He's a 10. I'm sorry, but we cannot undergo another season where Pedri goes down and what, we're gonna count on Dani Olmo, who's injury prone, coming off of a no rest this summer. And what? Pedri goes down, we have to Frankie De Jong's out. So it's gonna be Bernal and Gavi. That's what we're gonna face the season with. I'm sorry, and I love both of those, but I need Pedri there at all times at this current moment. If you need the team functions well with either one of Pedri or De Jong in. Either one of those goes down, especially when Pedri goes down, it's long. But I feel more comfortable when De Jong's there. You take out De Jong from the equation, that leaves us with our Pedri and Bernal. But what if Pedri goes down? We're fries. Gavi and Bernal. And then if for whatever reason, they're going to have to play through it all. And they're going to be toast because Gavi specifically didn't have a proper summer's rest. And what? Casado coming off the bench. I'm sorry. That works to win La Liga. But for other more intense purposes that we're looking to go for this summer, and just for the league alone, if we want to have a full charge at the Champions League, wrap up the league in the first half of the season. Batter everyone right off the bat so we can rotate later on in the season once we have a decent advantage. Because we need to put into practice battering over teams again week after week. None of this little 1-0, 2-0. Nah. Start practicing battering teams so when crunch time comes, and that's why we signed Adeyemi. So Lamine doesn't have to play as many minutes. That's why we signed Anthony Gordon. So either he could take Rafinha's spot or so that Rafinha doesn't play as many minutes as he used to. Pedri needs a proper backup as well. We cannot be a Pedri injury away from this team being dysfunctional. A Pedri that's coming already Pedri didn't have the best World Cup and didn't have the best ending to the season. He looked mentally fatigued. He looked drained. And with Flick's demanding style, it's long, guys. I'm sorry, but no, not at all. We cannot do this for another season. I'm sick and tired of it because this is the stupid look on my face when I'm sitting there looking at the screen. Pedri coming off with a muscle injury because he has to play it every single second of every single minute of every game, because if not, the team looks dysfunctional with no summer's rest. Nah, no, I'm not here for none of that. I'm not. Go out and get another midfielder. We need another Pedri. We need a proper Pedri backup. This is why I insisted so long during the season for Bernardo Silva. Obviously, now he's gone to Madrid. And at the time, for us, it wasn't a priority prior to Frankie De Jong's injury. Now, it's serious. It's not funny anymore. There's nothing to joke about. This is no laughing matter. We are a Pedri injury away from being screwed for a good major part of the season. I'm not entertaining that. I'm not trying to have all that. Have we lost our minds? Go get another midfielder. Go get another midfielder. Deco, please, go get another midfielder. All right, Bernardo Silva's off the table. A lot of people have been twerking for Rodri. Rodri's been twerking for Real Madrid. He's been shaking ass. And also, Rodri just found his level at this World Cup. He had a terrible season with Manchester City. Terrible. Horrendous. He only showed sparks here and there. He found his level at the World Cup. And national team football is not the same as club football. Club football is much more intense. Club football, there's much more reduced spaces. Club football is demanding because that's playing every 3 days. This World Cup, you were playing once every week up until the knockout stages, where you were playing closer to 4 times every four days. And Rodri's pushing to the later half of his career. He's coming off of a long-term injury as well. Who knows if he'll be able to settle in and he won't pick up muscle injury. This was an injury-ridden season for Rodri as well. I don't know. My candidate, I'd go for Kessie Smith, the Dutch kid. Aseta Alkmaar, I believe, is where he plays. Dude's a baller. Dude, anytime he gets the chance, he mentions that he wants to come to Barcelona. I'd take him up on that. That kid is a baller. But I don't know. Get another midfielder. Get me a proper Pedri backup. I need this. We need this. Genuinely. I don't know. What any of them PSG boys trying to, can we, one of the backups, Zaire Emery, Fabian Ruiz, one of them two trying to come home? It's long, y'all. It's long. This team. Pedri's so pivotal to this team, especially last season. Whenever the team doesn't function all that well, Pedri was the midfielder across all top 5 leagues, I think, that ran the most distance. That's a negative sign. What does that mean? That he makes up for a lot of the mistakes that the attacking press lacks, and that he empties the tank every game. And he is a prodigy when it comes to recovering the ball and defensive coverages and distances. People really focus on what he does on the ball and hiding the ball and playing forward and dangerous through passes, but his work rate on defense is underrated. Him and De Jong's. And with De Jong being out and Pedri, nah. We need another guy that's just like that. Bernardo Silva was a perfect replacement. And at the time, yes, it wasn't priority because Frankie De Jong was fine. Now, without Frankie De Jong, it's dark, y'all. It's dark. It doesn't matter if we bring in Julian at the number 9. No, this team does not function without Pedri. We need another appropriate backup. Bernardo Silva would have been perfect. Now, I don't know. Rodri's all over trying. He was born in Madrid. He came out of Atletico Madrid. He wants to go back to Madrid clearly. Oh, bro, this is serious. I don't think y'all understand the gravity of the situation. The team is dysfunctional. I saw Dani Olmo putting in 8 shifts, and yes, it was nice, it was cute going forward. But as soon as we play a high line, we play a defensive high line system that requires enormous physical efforts from our double pivots, especially when going backwards. And I don't want to watch Dani Olmo make those trackbacks anymore, bruh. Enough is enough. We need another midfielder. Oh, it's long, y'all. It's long. Anyways, let me know what you guys make of the situation. Tell me, give me suggestions. Who would you guys sign? What other midfielder would you guys sign? Because we need the depth there. We covered. We got a proper backup or replacement for Lamine. We got a proper backup for Rafinha, or a potential replacement for Rafinha. Pedri, we need one. We need one. It is vital. It was important. For me, it's more important than the center back. It genuinely is. But let me know, guys, in the comment section, who you guys would sign. What would y'all go for, Rodri? Would y'all go for Kessie Smith? Do you guys have any other names that I should be aware about? Kone. Kone from France. I'd be into that. I could work with that. Let's work. Let's talk. Kone Gavi action. Sign me up. Sign me up. I'm here for it. But anyways, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and see you guys in the next video.